Aloha, this is Heidi at Easy Peasy. Today I'm doing some last minute prepping for baby number 3 who's expected really soon. I have a lot of wool items that I need to lanolize, like this large wool puddle pad and all of baby's diaper covers. My advice is don't be like me and leave this for the very last minute. I was afraid I might even run out of time to get these lanolized before baby comes, so I gotta do it all today. Here's a quick look at all the items I need to lanolize. I have this large wool puddle pad from Little Bunny Bear that I'll be keeping on the bed under where me and baby are. And I'll be using a blanket, like this piece of fabric I cut out on top of it, or also an extra large muslin swaddle blanket on top of it. Anytime the blanket gets wet, I can just switch it out and keep using the lanolized wool pad. I also have baby's changing mat that I'll be using for changing diapers. That one's from Baby Greens. And I did the same thing where I cut a piece of fabric to the right size to use on top. And also I can use a pre-fold on top of it for whenever I change baby's diaper right here on the bed. I also have this wool wet bag from Organic Caboose. Unfortunately, I think they went out of business recently. I'm planning to hang this on my laundry cart, and then if I have any wool diaper covers that are dirty and need to be washed, I'll just store them in here until I can wash them. I also have 2 wool diaper belts and 1 wool potty cozy. And then my collection of wool diaper covers, I've already gone ahead and either turned them inside out or unsnapped them and velcroed them to get them ready. I'll do all these natural colored ones together since I don't have to worry about bleeding. Since these 2 are colored, I think I'm going to do them separately. This light green one from Loveybums, it probably wouldn't bleed, but just in case I don't want to do it with the natural. And then this darker teal one from Poppy Diapers is a lot darker color, so I definitely want to lanolize that one separately in case it does bleed a little bit. With all my wool diaper covers, when I received them, I washed them in lanolin-free wool wash, and then they've been stored inside a cotton tote bag along with some cedar chips, so they're all clean. So I've already done the cleaning step, I just need to do the lanolizing step now. If you want to see more about the wool covers and the diapers I have in my stash, you can watch my video on my natural newborn cloth diaper stash. We've got our wool wash supplies out here. My daughter's holding up the solid lanolin that we'll be using. And then we're going to use some of this E-bar for emulsifying it.
Open it.
And I'm going to mix it with the hot water in this repurposed spaghetti sauce jar and mix it with the knife.
Mommy, open it.
You want to open it? You can try. I want to check and see if this bowl is big enough to fit a few items. It doesn't look like it would fit many of the covers at once. I could at least fit like 1 cover and the diaper belts and potty cozy in there. That might work. And then put some separate items in the sink. Yeah, those are pants, but they're newborn size pants, Haru. You wear size toddler medium. Those are too cheesy for you. For the lanolin, it says use 1 teaspoon per item to lanolize. I'm trying to do 4 small newborn covers and the diaper belts and cozy. So maybe 3 or 4 teaspoons. So I'm going to simplify by just using 1 tablespoon of the solid lanolin for this first batch here. Okay, can you put in the chunk of E-bar? Okay, I just guessed at the size. If that's not enough, we'll add some more later.
Mommy, go!
Okay, I've got the tablespoon of solid lanolin in there. I've got a chunk of E-bar, and then I'm going to add some super hot water. I'm just guessing at the amount of water. Careful, careful. It's hot. Okay, we're gonna have to stir this around now.
Mommy. Yellow.
Yeah, you can see that yellow lanolin on top. So we're gonna add another chunk of the E-bar. Okay, very carefully. Don't touch the hot part. Yeah, drop it in. Okay, stir that around and see if that gets all the way emulsified. So, yeah. It's still yellow on top, so I added a bit more water. I realized since I'm doing like whole tablespoon of lanolin, maybe that wasn't enough water. Just gonna add another chunk of the E-bar. Okay, carefully put it in. Let's see if this will be enough.
Please. It's hot.
Is it hot? Let me check if it's warm. Oh, you're right, it's a little too warm. I'm gonna add part of our lanolin mixture into the bowl and part into the sink and just pray that this is emulsified good enough. touch the hot. Let me see. What we want is a nice milky white. What we don't want is globs of lanolin floating on top, because then it'll end up as globs on the wool.
Go, go.
Mix that around too.
Oh.
It's a bit warm, Haru. I just didn't want it too cold, because if it's too cold it shocks the lanolin out of the emulsion and then it doesn't work. Very gently, very gently. We don't want to spill. Okay. Just gotta push that under. Yes, carefully. Okay, you can add that in. One diaper belt. Okay, you're gonna grab another one. Okay, put that in the potty cozy. Okay, I'm gonna need some way to hold these under. They're just floating up. Push it down in. Gently, gently. Push it down in.
Ow.
It's only slightly warm. I'm gonna make everybody think I'm doing this in hot water.
Ow.
It's only a little bit warm.
Okay.
Okay, I've got them inside out already. Okay, you're gonna put the Disana one. That one, you have to be gentle with it. Put it in. Gentle.
No.
I've heard these Disana
Diaper.
ones can take a couple Lano baths to really get good and lanolized.
Kiki. No, I so many things. So many.
So many things on my counter. I know. We're showing real life here. This is not the polished and perfect. We're doing more of a day in the life vlog, getting ready for baby. Are you excited for baby to come soon? You want to help mommy change diapers? Yeah. Okay, we've got everything submerged, so I'm gonna let it soak here for at least 20 minutes. I know some people like to do a lot longer, but I tend to go kind of on the short side for Lanolin Bath. We made up a second lanolin mixture. This time used 1 tablespoon of solid lanolin and a nice big chunk of the E-bar. Let's see if this is enough to do the rest of the items.
Poor Mama.
Okay, the problem here is having enough containers to use for this, because I want to keep the colored items separate from the natural items. I'm using 2 sinks, whatever containers I can find in the house.
Yum, yum.
And I might have overfilled this one. Drink some water or some juice, please. I've got the Lovybum cover in there. The Poppy cover with not quite enough water to cover it, so I'm not sure, I might have to redo that one. Got my wool puddle pad and changing pad in here. Not quite as submerged as I would like. I've got the wool wet bag in the other sink. Now that I've got that second round soaking, this first round's been in for half an hour, so I'm gonna go ahead and drain it and dry these ones off. It probably would have been a good idea to do this slowly over time, but I'm batching it all at once. I like to leave the items in the sink while I let the water drain out so that the lanolin will kind of stick onto them as the water drains. Now I'm just going to very gently squeeze out the water out of each item. No wringing or twisting or anything too harsh. I put these covers on my beach towel. I'm gonna roll them up in the towel, try to squeeze as much more of the water out as I can before I put them on the drying rack. I think I'll actually step on it to make it easier to do than trying to squeeze it with my hand. I've got the first batch drying on the rack. We've been having kind of dreary, rainy weather. That's actually why I didn't do this yesterday. It was pouring rain yesterday. Storm coming through, so not quite as sunny as usual to dry these. But I think most of them should dry overnight since they're pretty thin. And my hands are feeling nice and moisturized from all this lanolin. I've got all the wool drying on the rack. That's a huge relief, knowing that all baby's woolies and puddle pads are lanolized before baby gets here. Please subscribe if you'd like to follow along with our cloth diapering and EC journey.